Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a story that's dominated headlines, one of hip-hop's longest-running and, frankly, ugliest conflicts.
Yeah, the rivalry between Sean P. Diddy Combs and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
Exactly. For years, most people just brushed it off as typical industry beef. Maybe 50 just trolling Diddy.
Right, just part of the game. But when you dig into the sources, court documents, interviews, tracing the whole history, a much darker picture emerges. Really disturbing stuff.
That's what we're doing here. We're looking at how this whole thing evolved. It started as, a professional power thing, right?
Yeah.
But it seems to have twisted into something deeply personal, involving alleged victimization.
Mm-hmm. And our mission, really, is to figure out why 50 Cent's relentless attacks, years of this stuff suddenly make this kind of awful personal sense, especially after Diddy's federal arrest in 2024 and everything that came out.
It's like the context just snapped into place. And to really get it, you have to rewind way back.
To a time most people probably don't even remember.
Yeah, a time when 50 Cent was actually, believe it or not, working for Diddy, not against him. Okay, so let's set that scene. Early 2000s, 50 Cent isn't the mogul we know now. He's fighting to survive, literally.
Right. He'd just been shot 9 times in 2000, got dropped by Columbia Records, basically blacklisted.
Totally radioactive in the industry. And broke. He was desperate for cash.
And that desperation led him to ghostwriting. This is critical. He needed the work, even with zero public credit.
And he claimed, I think it was in a 2022 interview, that he ghostwrote Diddy's verse on a track for G-Dep.
Think about that dynamic. 50, the raw talent, writing lyrics for Diddy, the established mogul, just to make ends meet, no recognition.
It establishes that power imbalance right from the start. Diddy's using his talent, 50 gets paid, but stays untouchable.
But here's a twist. Diddy actually had a shot to maybe control that talent. Tony G Unit mentioned that Diddy had the chance to sign 50 Cent to Bad Boy early on.
Wow, but he passed.
He passed. Big mistake, obviously, in hindsight.
So why? If the power dynamic was there, why not lock him down? Was it just arrogance? Maybe he didn't see the potential?
Could be arrogance, could be he just didn't vibe with him. Whatever the reason, he rejected him. And 50 didn't just disappear.
No, he went straight to Eminem and Dr. Dre.
Exactly. And built a competing empire. That rejection didn't just create a rival, it fueled one. It created this massive, hostile force built on that initial slight.
And the irony, connecting back to now. That lyric, 50 said he wrote for Diddy.
Oh, yeah. The send the cops, the DA, and the feds to come get me line.
Chilling, right? Given everything that happened in 2024 with the federal investigation and arrest, it's almost prophetic in a really dark way.
So you have this backdrop of unpaid creative debt and rejection. But what tipped it over? What made it personal?
That seems to center around what 50 calls the shopping incident. He brings this up repeatedly.
Right. This was the moment he says made him really uncomfortable and decide to, keep his distance from Diddy.
He told The Hollywood Reporter about it. Diddy apparently asked to take him shopping. Just like that.
And 50's interpretation wasn't, mentorship. Not at all.
No, he immediately saw it as weird, suspect. He even said it was like something a man says to a woman, implying it wasn't professional.
And that perception, that discomfort, it fueled years of public attacks. He went on shows like Drink Champs all over social media.
Using really crude language. Often homophobic stuff, calling Diddy a fruit pop. Just relentless mockery.
And that language is a huge part of why people dismissed him for so long. It was easy to write him off as just being a troll, or worse, homophobic.
Which, let's be clear, the language was problematic. You can't defend that.
Absolutely not. But here's the recontextualization we're talking about. Despite the way he said it, what was the substance?
Was he actually pointing to something real?
He was consistently raising questions, wasn't he, about Diddy's behavior, especially towards men in the industry. It felt like overkill then, maybe just stirring trouble.
But now, with everything that's come out.
Now, that constant questioning, that insistence that something was off about Diddy, it takes on a completely different meaning. The method was flawed, sure, but the warning underneath, maybe it was valid all along.
Okay, let's fast forward. Late 2023, things start unraveling for Diddy fast.
Really fast. The Cassie Ventura lawsuit landed in November 2023, and the details were horrific. Physical abuse, sexual assault, claims about being forced into these freak-offs.
And that suit settled almost instantly, like within 24 hours. Diddy denied the claims, but settling that quickly, it sent a message.
A huge message. And it opened the floodgates. More lawsuits followed. Producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, others, alleging similar patterns. Coercion, abuse.
Then came the feds, March 2024, Homeland Security investigations raiding his homes.
Yeah, LA and Miami, part of a sex trafficking investigation. It became undeniable. This wasn't just civil suits anymore. This was major federal heat.
And in the culmination, September 2024, arrested in New York.
The charges were heavy. Racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, transportation for prostitution. He's still incarcerated.
The indictment itself, it described this whole alleged criminal enterprise. Not just isolated acts, but a system almost, designed to commit these acts and then cover them up for years.
Right. Facilitating abuse, coercing victims into those hotel nights and parties that became notorious in the filings. It painted a picture of long-term systemic abuse allegedly orchestrated by Diddy.
And through all of this, 50 Cent. He was louder than ever.
Oh, constantly. Every single development, he was on social media, mocking Diddy, yes, but also mixing it with this kind of moral outrage.
And promoting his own projects about it, too, like that documentary he announced.
Absolutely. He was positioning himself as the guy who called it all along. Total vindication. But then the story takes another turn.
A really personal one.
Yeah. With the emergence of a key witness in the federal case, known only as Jane Doe.
Jane Doe. Her testimony was apparently central to the prosecution's case against Diddy. 6 days on the stand.
And she testified that she dated Diddy fairly recently, from 2021 right up until his arrest in 2024.
But the bombshell detail, the one connecting everything back to this rivalry.
Was her testimony that she and Diddy actually talked about the fact that her child's father and Diddy don't get along?
That phrase, don't get along, given the very public, very intense feud between Diddy and 50 Cent.
And the timeline. The speculation instantly zeroed in on one person.
Daphne Joy.
Yeah.
The mother of 50 Cent's son, Sire Jackson.
It just fit. The timeline, the known animosity, it seemed almost undeniable to many observers.
And 50's reaction didn't exactly quiet things down.
No. Right after that speculation exploded online, he posted this picture on Instagram, just him holding his son, Sire.
No caption needed, really. Everyone saw it as, well, him acknowledging it, confirming in his own way that Jane Doe was Daphne Joy.
And if that's true, if Daphne Joy is Jane Doe, then the testimony attributed to her, it's just devastating.
She described being allegedly coerced into drug-fueled hotel nights, these freak-off parties, events involving multiple male escorts.
Yeah, testimony mentioned, I think, 5 or 6 men at some of these events. It sounded like she described entering what she thought was a normal relationship.
Only to be allegedly pressured and manipulated into these incredibly traumatic situations, all orchestrated by Diddy.
The level of alleged victimization, the coercion using his power, it casts this incredibly dark shadow over everything, and it completely reframes 50 Cent's actions over the years.
Which brings us back to that central question. For so long, 50 was the troll, the jealous rival. Now, with this potential personal connection through Jane Doe, how do we understand his relentless attacks? What was really driving it?
It flips the whole script, doesn't it? What looked like industry trolling suddenly looks like something else entirely.
Like a father's rage.
Exactly. Potentially, a father realizing that the mother of his child was allegedly victimized, severely, by the very man he'd been warning everyone about for a decade. It explains the intensity, the fury.
That protective instinct kicks in.
It provides that missing piece. It explains why this wasn't just business for him, why it felt so deeply personal, especially now. His immediate moves trying to get sole custody of his son, announcing the documentary.
They seem less like just opportunistic trolling now.
Right. They look like the actions of someone deeply personally invested because of this alleged harm to his family.
Oh, okay, let's be real. It's complex, right?
Yeah.
He is also capitalizing on his rival's downfall, promoting his stuff, taking victory laps online.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just paternal protection. It's 50 Cent. Human motivations are messy.
So it's both protective father and opportunistic businessman.
I think they coexist. He's feeling vindicated, he's protective, and yes, he's a ruthless businessman who sees an opportunity to bury a rival and profit from the story. The alleged personal trauma just gives a powerful, maybe even a justifiable engine to those business moves.
And the implications for the wider hip-hop world are huge here. This isn't just about two guys.
No, this is a massive stress test for accountability in the industry. Diddy's power, his wealth, his influence, they allegedly enabled this behavior for decades.
An industry that historically, let's face it, has often protected powerful men, NDAs, settlements, silence.
Exactly. So the Diddy case forces the question, Is that changing? Are the systems that allowed this kind of alleged abuse to go unchecked for so long finally breaking down? The federal charges are a big deal.
But the fact that it took decades.
Shows you how long someone can operate with impunity when the system protects them. This is potentially hip-hop's biggest reckoning moment.
So looking back at this whole deep dive, it's been quite a journey. From, ghostwriting debts and that weird shopping offer.
Right, all the way to these horrific allegations and a father potentially seeking justice or at least accountability for the mother of his child.
The core thing is how the motive got recontextualized. What we thought we were seeing wasn't the full picture, not even close.
And the big takeaway, I think, beyond just Diddy and 50, is about power and belief. We have to question powerful people, and we have to find ways to listen to victims or potential warnings.
Even if the person raising the alarm is using, problematic methods.
Especially then, sometimes. 50 Cent's language was often way out of line, but maybe the underlying concern got dismissed because of the messenger and the methods. Culture and power dynamics can blind us. We need systems that hear the substance, not just the style.
So the final question this leaves us with for you listening is this. Will the Diddy case actually force real systemic change in the music industry? Will we see a permanent shift in how power, abuse, and coercion are handled? Or will this just end up being remembered as one spectacular, high-profile fall before everything snaps back to business as usual?